Good day, education students and teachers. Let us learn on how to unpack the learning competencies which are very essential in the developing a skill in making a lesson plan, and it will ensure that students have learned what must and should be learned. Before anything else, let us define what is learning competencies and learning objectives. Learning competencies are specific skills, knowledge, and abilities that students must learn from the specific learning area or subject area, such as Filipino, English, math, or science, or araling palipunan. While learning objectives are specific goals that students must learn to achieve the specific learning competencies. Teachers don't have the right to make its own learning objectives. Our task as a teacher is to unpack the learning competencies properly to ensure that the skills, the knowledge, and the attitude that the students must and should learn is achieved. Learning competencies are found in the curriculum guide provided by the Department of Education. Before we will start to learn on how to unpack the learning competencies, let us review first the Bloom's taxonomy of objectives. We need to master this topic for us to unpack properly the learning competencies. There are 6 levels of the cognitive domain according to Bloom. The first level is remember or remembering. In this level, students will just recall data or facts or basic concepts. The student skill that belong in this level is define, identify, list, or just state the needed data or facts. The second level is understand or understanding. Students are required to explain ideas or concepts. They need to classify, describe, discuss, explain, or recognize the concept. The next level is apply or applying. The students will have to use informations in new situations. They need to execute, implement, solve, use, or interpret in other skills to achieve this applying level. The next level is analyzing. They have to draw connections among ideas. They need to differentiate, organize, relate, compare, or examine ideas. The fifth level is evaluate or evaluating. They need to justify a stand or decision. They will appraise, argue, defend, or judge a decision or something. And the highest level is to produce new or original work. The students will design, assemble, construct, develop, or investigate something. This information is very necessary in the unpacking of the learning competencies. So in unpacking the learning competencies, let us follow this principle. Number one, provide prerequisite skills or knowledge for the students to achieve the learning competency. The reason why we're going to unpack the learning competency because the learning competency is so big for the students to achieve it. So to help students to achieve the learning competency, let us provide prerequisite skills or knowledge for them to achieve the learning competency. And also, please consider the logical sequence of learning competency. That's why we review in our first presentation, we review first the Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive objectives. Because in making the learning objectives or the unpacking of learning competency, we are going to follow the simple to complex learning objectives according to the taxonomy of Bloom's. So we're going to consider the logical sequence of the learning competency. In unpacking the learning competency, please take note on the specific skill and content of the competency. In the example of competency in Araling Palipunan, Grade 10, na ipapaliwanag ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue. The skill is na ipapaliwanag and the content is mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue. Na ipapaliwanag ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue, ito ay nabibilang sa understanding. Thus, we need to simplify this learning competency, or we're going to provide prerequisite skill for students to achieve this one. Thus, we will make a remembering objectives such as natutukoy ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue or na isa-isa ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue. Then we're going to copy our competency to be our second objective. And that is na ipapaliwanag ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue or natatalakay ang mga konsepto ng kontemporaryong issue. Para sa example number 2, nakakabuo ng mga mungkahi upang malutas ang iba't ibang suliranin sa paggawa. This learning competency belongs in the creating level. In this competency, we need to provide prerequisite skills to students for this to achieve this complicated learning competency. Kaya, bago ang mga mag-aaral makakabuo ng mga mungkahi upang malutas ang iba't ibang suliranin sa paggawa, kailangan nila na makagawa ng una, na isa-isa ang mga hakbang upang malutas ang suliranin sa paggawa. Pangalawa, natatalakay ang mga hakbang upang malutas ang mga suliranin sa paggawa. At pangatlong objectives, nasusuri ang epekto ng mga hakbang upang malutas ang mga suliranin sa paggawa. At bago sila nakakabuo ng mga mungkahi upang malutas ang ibang suliranin sa paggawa. Pag nakabuo ng mga mungkahi ang mga mag-aaral, ito ay isang napakabuting mungkahi dahil ito ay na-undergo sa kanilang careful analysis and evaluation upang makabuo sila ng mabuting mungkahi upang malutas ang iba't ibang suliranin sa paggawa. However, hindi sa lahat ng panahon ganito kasimple ang pag-unpack ng learning competency. May mga panahon na kailangan ng isang guro na alam niya ang buod ng aralin bago siya maka-unpack ng learning competency, gaya ng example number 3. Nasusuri ang klasikong kabihas ng Greece. na ito ay nabilong sa evaluating level. Napakataas. At hindi pwede ng ating objective ay ganito lang kasimple. Natutukoy ang klasikong kabihas ng Greece, na ipapaliwanag ang klasikong kabihas ng Greece, na ipapakita ang mga pamana ng klasikong kabihas ng Greece, at nasusuri ang klasikong kabihas ng Greece. Ang aralin na ito o ang competency na ito at ang aralin na ito ay napakahaba. Kaya, dapat lamang na ito ay divide into different lessons. So our first lesson would be natutukoy ang mga katangian ng Sparta at Athens. Then, natatalakay ang mga katangian ng Sparta at Athens. Then our second lesson, natutukoy ang mga banta sa Persia, na ipapaliwanag ang mga banta sa Persia. At ang pangatlong lesson ay na isa-isa ang mga dahilan ng digmaang Peloponnesians, na ipapaliwanag ang mga dahilan ng digmaang Peloponnesians, at naihambing ang mga pangyayari sa Pilipinas na magkahantulad sa digmaang Peloponnesians. At ang pangatlong lesson ay natutukoy ang mga tao sa ginintuang panahon ng Athens. Pangalawa, na ipapaliwanag kung bakit ito natatawag na ginintuang panahon ng Athens. At ang pangatlo, at ang ating competency, na susuri ang klasikong kabihas ng Greece. So sa napakahaba aralin, bago mo na-achieve ang inyong learning competency. At ito ay naisa-isa ng guro sa kanyang bawat aralin. Reminders. In unpacking the learning competencies, please look at the previous learning competency and the next competency to check if you repeatedly use the previous competency or you overly unpack the learning competency at naisali mo ang next competency sa inyong presente na lesson. Yan lang po ang paraan kung paano i-unpack ang learning competency. Hanggang sa muli!